Hello, my name is Eric Mitchell, and I have been a student at CTS probably for 6 years, very much part-time. And so I've actually seen a lot of fellow students come and go, and seen a lot of faculty even come. So it's truly a part of me. And so even though it's taken a while, I actually will graduate next spring, and I'm already sort of missing it. But I'm just going to really just savor and enjoy the remaining year that I have left. I'm a father of two twin girls. They're 11 years old. I'm married. I live right outside of Chicago, and have a dog named Sonic. And so they're absolutely the joy of my life. And I am a practicing attorney. I've been practicing in law for the last 17 years, first as a public defender, and then I've been in private practice probably for about 15 years, have my own practice, several offices throughout the Chicago area. And so when I think of leadership, of course, being a leader within my own business is something that I'm very comfortable with. And when you sort of are looking to then transition that leadership into other aspects, namely social justice and trying to transform others' lives, there are some differences. And a good case in point is when I did my field study this last year. I was volunteering at a community center in Joliet. And so I came in with just, huge expectations and plans and just novel ideas that I thought I was going to implement. And after probably a couple days, I realized, you know what, I'm gonna have to put this to the back burner and really just focus in on what the need is of the community. And it was a very serious need, community plagued with drugs and violence. And so I was actually operating a food distribution center. And just realizing what the need was, you sort of have to, as a leader, put aside certain ideals or assumptions, and I know that's our first week's topic, and really just address the need, meet the people where they're at, instead of asking the people to meet you where you're at. And so it was a very humbling experience. And so when we now looking into this class here, dealing with leadership within a religious context, I sort of feel like as though it's going to be a learning process, something I can continue my growth, from my field experience. What I look or expect from this class, as with all the classes at CTS, just a really growing community within this class where we can just sort of share ideals, sort of put my assumptions to the side at times, and at times contribute, my ideals to the conversation as well, and just really grow together. I really feel that, especially the leadership in the religious context, is really in need. We see a lot of, a lot of strife in the country now, whether it be around issues of police brutality or gay and lesbian issues. So even though we've made, substantial progress, there's still a lot of progress that needs to be made. And you see individuals framing arguments within a religious context. And so religious leadership to combat some of our social ills is extremely important, in my opinion. One of my favorite movies over the last year is Selma. And one line that Martin Luther King Jr. said when he was in jail, when he was sort of comparing himself to some of the other civil rights leaders, is that what he was doing was moving the needle compared to some of the other leaders. And that's what I want my ministry to do, to actually transform and to have real substantial and effective transformation and impact on the lives of others. And so I'm really interested in food justice issues. I'm personally a vegan. And so then over the years, just learning, proper eating habits and sort of seeing the connection between a healthy community and the food that they're eating. And, food deserts, especially being in impoverished areas, how people don't have access to quality vegetables and fruits, and they're really sort of then connected to a lot of the cheap, inexpensive food that are highly processed, high in saturated fats, and it's just really bad for their health, which leads to disease such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity. So there's really a connection there. I'm really sort of figuring out exactly the path that I'm going to be going with my particular religious leadership, but I know I'm going to want to address some of the food justice issues as well as extreme poverty. And again, I just want to say I'm very excited to be a part of this class, and I'm looking forward to contributing and also receiving the input. So again, I just want to thank you very much. Look forward to speaking with you soon.